years, I've experienced pretty much everything one could expect from the outdoors. I've caught just about every species of fish that swims, have walked on pretty much every continent, and had close encounters with a vast variety of wildlife. On this episode, we're going to add to that list.
Catching fish for a living is a pretty good gig, but for me, the best part is the travel. Like on today's show, we're taking a train from a small settlement just east of Wawa, Ontario, called Hawk Junction. The train is one of the best ways to get to some of Ontario's hidden gems. No roads, no cars, only hundreds of miles of pure wilderness, which is where we're heading, to Errington's Wilderness Resort, a luxury lodge with 5-star service and plenty of walleye, wildlife, and scenery that will have you wanting to book your trip before this episode even ends.
Errington's is a welcoming place, from the dock hands and waiting staff to the variety of guests that visit here from all over the continent. We felt like family the minute we stepped on land.
Good to see you.
Angelo. Our hosts, Al and Doris Errington, have created the ultimate wilderness getaway. It's got all the comforts of home. Wow. That's all people say, I'm sure, when they walk into this room. Spectacular. Just great. And we've heard nothing but good things about this place. The fishing is outstanding. The accommodations are obviously great. But the food, people are raving about the food here.
We don't like to people go hungry, actually. We like people enjoy their food.
Okay, I have to tell you a little something. I've been on a diet for a while, so I got to go easy on the food here.
It might, well, we'll see what we can do. It might be a problem over here.
I always have a problem, believe me. So we're going to be fishing mostly for walleye and pike, early in the season, obviously. How is it this time of year?
This is the best walleye time. This is lots of action for walleyes. Just numbers. Lots to eat, and you can catch walleyes basically all day.
On the way in, when we were coming in, you notice there's a lot of points and humps and shoals and stuff. Obviously, it's the regular walleye fishing, just find a rock. And
I think it's superior, actually. We've got really great walleye habitat here. I mean, it's a very sheltered lake because of all the islands and bays and stuff like that. And we have lots of reefs, sandbars, creeks coming in. It's just like fantastic walleye habitat. My family bought this resort as basically a very run-down bunch of shacks back in 1975. It was pretty tough the first few years. My dad was an iron worker. He kept iron working in the winters to keep things going for the first few years. He always had the dream of just having a place where he could hunt and fish whenever he wanted to and make money at the same time. We found out very quickly is that this is a lot of work and you don't fish when you're doing it. So.
We had a lot of rustic cabins when we first took over the business, and that was good for people that just wanted to come and fish and do nothing else. So they were basically sleeping in the cabin and fishing pretty much all day. But times have changed now, and everybody enjoys those comforts and the ambiance that goes with it. So the cabins are log cabins, there's indoor plumbing, there's hot and cold running water. It's a place where you can actually go and you can spend time in. We have Adirondack chairs at the end of our docks, and that in itself is an experience, just to be able to go and sit down at the end of the dock and just enjoy the scenery.
We consider ourselves a wilderness vacation resort, which means it's a place to come up and really enjoy everything there is about nature. From fishing and enjoying shore lunches and that kind of stuff, to watching bear and moose and learning about ospreys and eagles and loons. It's a whole diverse experience. It's really getting in touch with nature, and I think for the most part people are really missing that in this today's world. We're finding more people are just disconnected from nature.
Let me get you over there. You good?
Yeah, we're all set to go here.
Where else can you catch fish?
A million of these out here.
A million.
We have a lot of fishermen that come in the spring, and then we start going into families in the summer. But the thing I find the most is we get a lot of related individuals. So we'll get fathers, grandfathers, grandsons, families will come up that will be multi-generational as well. And I think it's just a wonderful opportunity, especially when you've got children, that you can actually put them into a boat where there's no other distractions, and then you get to have the opportunity to know them. Children that used to come up 20, 30 years ago are now coming up with their kids, so it's a wonderful experience.
This is a very, very easy lake to fish. For people first time on the lake, they usually get a guide for about a day or a half day just to get them oriented, get them into the fishing techniques that work really well on this lake, get them oriented on the lake a bit. But it's shallow fishing, it's very easy fishing, they learn it very, very quickly, so that they just get into it very, very, very quickly. Our repeat guests that have been coming up for a long time, we have guests that have been coming up for 30, 40 years, so they know this lake some ways a lot better than I do even, so they don't bother with guides after a while. They just, because the fishing is that easy to do.
Come on, buddy.
Got him! That's a white, that's a fish you want to eat right there, boy.
That's the perfect size eating, isn't it?
We are train in or plane in only, and we use a local air service, Hawk Air, to deliver our guests in by plane, and they can pretty much decide whenever they want to come in at whatever time, as long as it's daylight hours. And with the train, we have 3 days per week that we have the train coming in, and people can come either from Sault Ste. Marie, or they can drive up along Highway 17, which is highly recommended because the scenery is so gorgeous between Sault Ste. Marie and Wawa, and then they can catch the train in from Hawk Junction. Now what they also can do is they can also train in and fly out, or they can do vice versa.
We're a fairly small resort, and we like it that way because we like the intimate atmosphere. We like to get to know our guests and really and interact with our guests. So a big week for us is like 35 people, 35, 40 people, and we can really take care of them. And we're operating on 2 islands on the lake, and they're only about 5 minutes apart by boat. And we have our cabins all distributed along the shoreline. So all our accommodation is very secluded, and they have great views of the lake, own private docks. It's and very, very comfortable.
Nice walleye.
Get them over to the side here. Part of the wilderness experience is exploring a lake and searching for what might be the perfect honey hole.
Ooh.
There he is. Right where he should have been.
That's my fish.
Right where he should have been on Ivan's Rock.
You didn't let me get
I told ya.
You're not allowed to cast here.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a nice eye. Look,
that's a beauty.
Those are better quality, buddy.
Here's the ones we're going to be eating for lunch in about an hour.
I think so.
Hey.
Oh, come on. What are you doing?
Catch him too.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I got one. Woo, look at that. That's a nice one.
You are a goon.
Oh, I lost him.
You are a goon of goons.
That was my fish. That's a big one.
Oh, man. You're a goon of goons.
I wanted to get that one.
Mike and I spent a day running from one end of the lake to the other in search of catchable walleye and sharing a few laughs along the way.
I didn't know that's how you put leeches on. So what do you do, get them to suck a little bit of your blood first?
Yeah. Now, the trick is getting them from there to that hook. That's the trick.
What do you do, put it through your hand?
Well, you kind of go, oh. Got me. Okay. Now watch. You watching? You watching?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I don't know whether you know anything about physics or not. You see this end of the boat, the pointing end of the boat? They didn't put that on there because they ran out of square ends, all right? They put it on there because that's supposed to be the front. Okay?
You are in the front. I'm fishing in the back.
And we're going backwards.
Oh, well, it's a strategy. It's called back trolling. You see, use the resistance on the flat portion of the boat to slow you down.
How am I supposed to fish from here? How am I supposed to fish? Oh, buddy. It might be a pike. No, it's got a bit of a head shake.
Oh, that's a walleye. If I ever seen a walleye.
No, it's got to be a pike.
Walleye pike.
Yeah, it's a pike. Oh, it's a pike.
No.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. I saw some white there.
Yeah, it's a spotted.
Did you see a
spotted walleye?
Did you see it? Whoa.
Long-nosed mountain trout.
No, seriously. Did you see a spot on his tail?
Seen some spots.
No. not.
Oh, that's
no.
a respectable little gator.
That is a nice gator, a 6-pound line. Oh, it's okay. You just go ahead and fish there, Mike. I don't need a hand, buddy.
Let me get one. Let me get one here.
I don't need any help, buddy. It's okay.
Oh, okay then, fine.
Get the net out here, you
Ned, bring him back here. I'll show you how to land them. Saw this on TV once.
Here. I don't want. That's the last jig I've got in yellow.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's the last one. Don't lose. I see the jig head still sticking out a bit.
Where is he? I don't want to stand up. It's dangerous to stand up in the boat. Bring him back, buddy. Oh, yeah, head first into the net, folks. He's backing up.
Yeah, baby.
Wow, it's a chunky pike.
Wow.
Take it easy. Oh.
That is a nice gator. Oh, watch your finger. Nice one. Thanks for the jig, buddy.
He hurted my finger.
Good. Hey, we can be blood brothers. Seagull. Look at him coming at you.
Oh, I thought he was coming at me. Look at that. I got a fish right in the rocks.
No way. Any size?
Not a bad little Walter. I got your lunch right here.
Wow. I've never seen that. Have you ever seen a gull nest?
No.
I've never. That's a first.
Usually I thought they were up on cliffs, but I guess that could be considered a cliff.
That is a first, man.
Look at that. Look how deep this fish ate that jig. Don't try this at home, folks.
He's a trained professional.
Every one of these fish is snapping that bait, and I'm catching them in the front lip. They're twins, triplets, quadruplets. Good old pickerels. People at home be going crazy watching this show. Why aren't they keeping some of those to eat? Wait till you see the shore lunch we have. Not your traditional one, I tell you that. Once Ange and I figured out what the walleye were doing on the lake, it was pretty much child's play.
They're a beauty fish, though, huh?
Awesome. We would use the wind to our advantage, back trolling and drifting across points that had huge boulders. We would simply cast our jigs to the backside of rocks and get slammed by aggressive walleye and the odd whitefish.
Now I got you figured out.
There's a cat. That's, whoa!
Now I got you figured out.
There
Oh, that's
you go.
nice. Oh, that's a nice one. That's the monster, boys.
Boy, you might want to put a net under that beaver. There's another one. Double header, brother.
We found it.
There's sticks in there.
We found it.
I got a good one on in.
Have you got Oh, yeah, that's a nice. Look at the size of this thing.
Oh, these are great. Look at them wallow. Look at that.
You want the net, buddy? No, that's not net worthy yet.
Double header. Just like that. Back to back.
Look at this thing, Mikey.
Look at his.
That's a nice walleye.
Cute.
Man, oh man. And they're stacked right behind this one boulder. It's got to be a little bowl or something in there. They are just lined there.
Beautiful. That was awesome.
That was
You
great,
found
eh?
a little spot. 2 or 3 times I just was going to tell you.
Yeah, I
I was
bet
just
you
going
were.
to tell you, Errington.
Oh, I'll bet
found
you
the
were.
spot.
I'll bet you were. I'll bet you were just about. Send me a telegram.
Yeah.
I watched you. I watched you.
We haven't been here for, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, caught a few stragglers, and then wham! You always find that spot on the spot. I just pulled 2 out and just got a nice one. What was that? 2-3 pounds at least.
Mike and I were told not to bring back any fish and to definitely not snack on the boat. We were to meet the crew and some other guests on an island for a gourmet shore lunch.
Hey? What's on the menu?
This is the way a shore lunch should be, buddy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Look at this, all ready
Show
for
up.
no washing fish.
Steak and baked potato and apple pie for dessert. Apple pie. Apple pie.
What a trip. Great fishing, gourmet meals. Errington's Wilderness Resort is truly a wild experience.
Yeah, I forget the name of the place that stops at there.
came
Now-
right away.
No, it doesn't get any better than that, boys. It just does not exist. Nope. Let me tell you.
Pass it around. Talk about a feast. That was one of the most memorable lunches I could recall in a long time. And the overwhelming temptation to head back to the lodge and take a nap was creeping in. However, after lunch, we were promised that we would get the royal tour of the lake and be witness to one of the most surreal wilderness encounters either of us has ever had. We were going to have dessert with black bears. I hope they didn't mean be dessert.
Now, what are they eating? They're picking through the stuff. They seem to be very selective.
They're looking for the sugary stuff like carrots and stuff like that. They like potatoes. They also like the fattier fish. Actually, every once in a while, somebody will bring in a sucker and we'll leave it, and they love the suckers. This keeps the attraction off our island and over here.
And a great way to get rid of waste.
Yep.
You know, I mean, think about it. In the cities, we've got this whole ecosystem set up where we're disposing of our compostable products in one bag. And here's the way to do it.
Well, I call them black bear composters. I mean, if I could sell it somewhere.
No kidding. This was too much. Standing inches away from a black bear and her cubs while they dined on rations from the camp's kitchen. Now keep in mind, this is not offered to regular guests. Viewing and photography is encouraged only by boat. Now, do you ever get any aggressive males coming into an area like this, or is it pretty much mom and the kids?
Pretty much, the males, they kind of wander through. The females will stay in one area, so we get to know them. Males will wander through. We had a big male here a couple of days ago. I'd like to see him again, actually. But
well, maybe not.
he's twice as big as she is.
Wow. What a great idea. So all your garbage,
all the food waste,
the food waste gets consumed by the bears. That is fantastic. And it keeps them away from the camp, you were saying as well.
We have no smell because we take it out every day from the whole resort. We have no smell over at the resort to attract the bears over there. So.
Wow.
And even if they do, I mean, they'll occasionally come over to the island, but they don't find any food, so they won't come back.
Could we show the audience exactly what the deterrent is? It's a rake.
This is the best bear intimidation tool I've ever found. Actually, is a nice big leaf rake. It's got a few. This one's getting worn out a bit. I've hit bears a few times with this one, so they've never chewed on it though. Actually, that's not where the teeth are missing. It's just that it's starting to get worn out from scraping. But it's a very intimidating thing for black bear. These rakes. So plus, actually, you got to have attitude too.
Isn't that crazy?
What a great way to break up your fishing day, to come out here and check these things. Great. How long have you been doing it?
Oh, I don't know, actually. It's got to be 10, 12, oh, more than that, actually. Probably 15 years or so, actually, we started doing this.
Well, I think we better give them the rest of the food and let them do their thing. This is fantastic. We really appreciate you sharing this with us,
No
man.
problem. It was a pleasure doing it.
Wants the good stuff.
She wants the good stuff.
Fishing Canada HOTSPOT, the ultimate fishing guide presents Getting There.
Today's hotspot is a rock pile called Castle Rock. Deep water surrounds it, and walleye lurk in the dark crevices, waiting for an easy meal. Live bait is a sure bet, but try casting crankbaits over the top when the wind is blowing. For more hotspots like this one, check out our website.
To get to Errington's, we took Highway 400 north to 69 north, and then took Highway 17 northwest to Wawa. From there, we headed northeast on 101, and then north to 547 to Hawk Junction, where we boarded the Algoma train that took us to the landing at Lake Wabatongushi.
Visit fishingcanada.com for more details.